Joining us as we celebrate this much needed and anticipated grand opening of the replacement of the North Shore Community Fire Station number 41. I'm Jeff Pemberton, Chief Deputy, Riverside County Fire Department, and extremely honored to represent our agency. At this time, I would ask you all to rise for Local 2881 CAL FIRE's Honor Guard while they present the colors. Please join me in honoring our great country's flag in the Pledge of Allegiance as we place our hand over our heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All uniformed personnel, order, hoops! You may be seated. Allow me to introduce our distinguished guests. I ask that you rise as I call your name. From the 25th Congressional District, the representative from Congressman Ruiz's office. Thank you. From the Riverside County Executive Office, our CEO, Jeff Van Wagenen. As well as our Chief Operating Officer, Juan Perez. Our Riverside County Fire Chief, Bill Weiser. And one of the individuals that helped get this whole thing started many, many years ago, retired Deputy Chief Dorian Cooley, who made the original purchase with the work of FM to buy this plot of land. Deputy Chief Robert Fish, who oversees the East Operational Area and was the lead on this project from the fire department. Deputy Chief Scott Bethurum. Deputy Director Chet Ashbaugh. Riverside County Facility Management, Rose Salgado. From our building team, Tilden and Coyle and their entire staff, Marty Green, Drew Collins, Brian Ismiro, Sergio Lopez. From our design team at Holt Architecture, Matt Acton and Thomas Howell. Fire stations are just buildings. It's the men and women from the past, present, and future that make them a fire station. We hope this fire station will serve and protect them as much as they do us. I would like all in attendance that have served out of this fire station over the last 61 years to please stand. And for those men and women that have been serving here over the last year, thank you for your patience and understanding as we work through this building process. Construction of the new Fire Station 41 here in North Shore began just under a year ago, December 5th. The stunning state-of-the-art fire station will replace the community North Shore Fire Station that has been here and serving this community proudly for 61 years. They're moving from a facility that had just over 1,000 square feet of total space. At the end of the ceremonies, you are all invited to take a tour of your community's new fire station. You will see on this tour the facility includes much improved living quarters, a large kitchen, individual bathrooms, and more restrooms. This will allow our first responders not only the privacy, but will allow us as we go through pandemics, should we have to be able to slow the spread within our own facilities. This fire station has the state-of-the-art, environmentally efficient systems to clean our personal protective equipment that each member of the organization uses. This is truly a wonderful facility. I would like to welcome up Riverside County Facility District Management Director Rose Salgado.
Good morning, everyone. I can't say enough what a pleasure it is to be here with you today at the beginning of this beautiful month of December. It was literally a year and a day ago that we had a groundbreaking at this beautiful site. And when we came here a year ago and met here, I think it was a smaller group, but I do recall we had some folks that retired years ago, and I didn't get your name, but I will when we finish here. He's back here to join us. And so it just shows the excitement of our retired firefighters, how proud they are to finally bring a facility like this to our county. And so with that, I want to start by saying that as the Director of Facilities Management, it's really, truly, it brings us a lot of pride to be able to support our fire department with facilities like this. I know that you've already showcased and thanked some of our partners, but I want to start by basically sharing that this $11.1 million project was able to provide us with over 8,000 square feet of space now. And we're fortunate that we can see where we came from, because it is quite a dramatic difference. Walking through the facility, it brings us just so much pride to know that our firefighters will now have a place that they can ensure not only are they protecting their equipment, but that they are able to do a much better, safer job of protecting our community and our property. So I want to share with you that, as many of you know, and I know this is the first of many projects to come for fire, but these are projects that we cannot do alone. It takes a lot of supports, and there's a lot of hands involved in projects like this. To begin with, I'd like to thank, of course, our Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Perez, who was not able to join us this morning, but I know has tremendous pride, and if you see his press release, you'll know how excited he is about this fire station. Of course, our Board of Supervisors for approving this project, and I would also like to thank Chief Weiser for trusting our department and taking on projects like this. And like I said, it takes a village to deliver projects like this fire station. And so I want to take a moment again to mention some of those partners, starting with, of course, who started the vision of this fire station, and that's our Holt Architecture, our designer. And I want to make sure we recognize Thomas Howell, our senior principal. He's here with us today. There he is in the back. Matt Acton, principal project architect. Christine Luong, Material Specialist. Sophie De Christopher, our designer, who I hear is now in Portland, but still actively working on projects. Jorge Andrade, Assistant Designer. This design build project also included one of our very reputable contractors, constructors, Tilden Coyle. So with us today, Marty Greenwood, our project executive. Of course, Dane Brazard, President and CEO of Tilden Coyle. We have Drew Collins, Project Manager. We had two project superintendents, one that started the project and one that finished the project, Miles Morales, as well as Brock, and I don't want to mess up this last name, Mendenhall. Thank you. Sergio Lopez, project engineer. And Ernesto Rivera, project engineer. And it goes without saying that our department has a team, our project management team, who oversee these projects on behalf of the county. And I would like to thank our Assistant Director, Venus Brambilla, for her support of this project. I'd like to recognize also Vince Izaguirre, our Assistant Director of our Real Estate Division, who I know is supporting fire also with additional acquisitions of property for more fire stations to come. Rebecca McCraig, our Deputy Director of our Project Management Office. And then, of course, the one we blame when anything goes wrong, our Project Manager, Dominic Lombardi, Supervising Project Manager. Thank you, Dom. Excellent work here. And I would also just take a brief moment to thank our event coordination team who was able to put this beautiful event together. Make sure you visit the back table. Aside from coffees, you'll see some really cute cookies back there, and we'll have some gifts for you at the end of this. So again, facilities management is honored to be part of bringing a modern fire station to the North Shore community. This is one of many meaningful and very rewarding projects that we are proud to be a part of in Riverside County. We look forward to continuing to serve Riverside County and the fire department with more projects to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rose, for all your work and your team's partnership. It is truly an honor to work hand in hand with FM, and we know that between our PIO shop that helps set this facility up with your folks, that we really appreciate that partnership between our two agencies, or two departments, rather. Next up, Riverside County's Fire Chief, Bill Weiser.
Wow, this got done. This is amazing. North Shore Fire Station 41. This is a fire station that we call them in the fire service. But to those of us that wear the uniform or work here, we often call them a firehouse. It's because we live here. This station will have men and women assigned here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And this will be their home while they're on duty. Right now, they currently work 72 hours a week here, 3 days straight. And this is an amazing accomplishment to give our employees a new, safe, terrific workplace that they call home, that they are going to be here for a very long time. This facility, I should say, is going to be here for a very long time. I was thinking about it driving here this morning, that I wonder what this community will look like at the turn of the next century. And this fire station will still be here, this one that we're all sitting in right now, to support that community. That's how long we get out of our fire stations. And it's exciting to see this. And I know how many years in planning this was. And I have some people really I wanted to ensure that I thank. Without a doubt, it's been mentioned already, but Supervisor Perez, his vision and his caring and commitment to the communities of the Coachella Valley, and including here in North Shore, is undeniable what helps make these things happen, as well as the stalwart support of our current Board of Supervisors that sees public safety and especially fire as such an important part of the future of this county. And we are all eternally grateful for these kind of things. I couldn't help but be remiss if I didn't mention our executive office with the CEO, Jeff Van Wagenen, and COO, Juan Perez, and Dave Rogers, the CFO, that are nothing but strong supporters for this fire department, what we do, and what our vision is for the future. And we all couldn't do what we're doing without their strong support. Then lastly, I have to thank FM, who has been a terrific job here. Rose, you and your team, along working with Tilden and Coyle and everyone else that was a part of this project, has done a magnificent job. I think of the future of this, and I can't be but nothing excited for this community and the men and women that are going to work here for the decades and decades to come. So I'm just going to look at all of you, my brother Robert Fish that made a lot of this happen for us right now, Doran Cooley that was here before that making it happen, and I applaud all of you that made this happen. Thank you. So I know that Supervisor Perez couldn't be here right this moment. Is that right, Chief? So I think we're going to have him here for the ribbon cutting when he shows up. That'll be absolutely terrific. Again, I'm glad that we recognize the men and women that have worked at the older fire station here at North Shore. It's generations that have been out here doing such a terrific job. Again, thank everyone in this county that had a piece of this. It's awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Weiser. It was also your leadership, vision, and support that helped us get this across the finish line. From the CAL FIRE men and women that serve the community of North Shore, thank you for that vision. Fire stations stand as symbols of public safety. We've crafted this station to symbolize the North Shore community and our dedication to serve the residents for the next 60 years. And I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the North Shore community. You have always stood by your fire department and the firefighters that serve you every day. As we move to the next portion of the program, I would like to ask the County Fire Executive Team as well as the local battalion staff to assemble at the flagpole. For the remaining folks, attendees, if you would join us at the front apron at the bottom of the driveway here while we conduct the flag raising ceremony. Immediately following that, we will come back and complete the ribbon cutting. thank you all for joining us back inside. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Riverside County District 4 Supervisor V. Manuel Perez.
Well, it's about time, right? Literally. It's about time we build this fire station. It's about time I show up. Hey, Chief. Nice to see you. What a beautiful morning. It's beautiful out here. That's why we got to work on making sure we mitigate, we do everything possible to fix the Sound Sea. Same time though, we do everything possible to ensure the quality of life, the success of our residents of this area. Hey Patrick, good to see you back there. And there's a lot going on and a lot to be proud of in the community of North Shore. You know, not too long ago we actually had a park open up. But you might have learned that after we opened up the park, that night we had a storm, remember that? And then we had to redo it all over again. But it came out even better. It just cost us a few $1 million more. I understand that we're also going to build a new elementary school for our kids out here, which I'm very proud of, because obviously education is the tool, the liberation, if you will, of an individual to be successful, to have hope. And you know, I for one graduated from Coachella Unified School District, went to Peter Pendleton, Bobby Duke, CV High, Go Arabs, UC Riverside, and came back home. And I was on the school board, and we built a few schools when I was on the school board. So anytime we can build more schools, the better. Anytime we can build more parks, the better. Anytime that we can build fire stations like these, the better. And I mentioned earlier the North Shore Yacht Club, the Sound Sea. You know, we finally were able to receive some funding in the amount of $20 million as a result of the efforts of our assembly member, our senator, as well as our congressman. And you know, we still have a long ways to go, and I'm not going to lie about it. I know it's a struggle. People have been waiting for decades. And you know, we have to hold the state accountable, in my opinion, because we did sign the qualification settlement agreement some time ago, and as a result of that signature, they stated that they would be liable and they would work with the community. And I think it's important that they continue to do so, especially with the Sound Sea Authority. Sound Sea Authority consists of the tribe, Torres Martinez, IID, CVWD, right, the County of Imperial, the County of Riverside. So we just got to continue to push, folks. Obviously here locally, but as well in Sacramento and at the federal level. You know, this morning I woke up not realizing that our event here today was at 11 o'clock. So I went outside my backyard and started working on my yard. Hey, I put up some more Christmas lights. Cleaned up, took out some of the weeds, and I cleaned up around where the roses are, and that keeps me sane, I guess. Keeps me going. But I also learned this morning, unfortunately, that one of our very own staffers, Pat Cooper, rather, who used to work for Denise DeChaney, John Benoit, our supervisor, myself, her aunt passed away. Her name is Mary Reyes. And there was a special bond between Pat and her aunt and her mother and a lot of her family members. Pat's always there to take care of her family. So Pat would be here with us today. She sends her apologies, but we all know why she's not. I'd like to ask for a moment of silence on behalf of Pat Cooper, her family, and our condolences go out to the family and obviously her aunt, Mary Reyes. Thank you, everyone. A few other folks to thank very quickly: Rose Salgado, Veronica Casper, Dominic Lombardi, Tilden and Coyle Constructors, Holt Architecture, our Chief Weiser, CAL FIRE, Riverside County Fire Department. I want to thank all of you for the good work that you do, for making sure we made this happen. I think you might have heard already, right? 60 years. It's a long time. This, the old fire station has served the community since 1964. And apparently it was falling apart. But like I mentioned, we got a few more to go. And just one last point, because I think you've heard enough regarding the speeches, and not to hold you back. Anytime in which we can come together, identify the resources, pass the policies, deal with regulations at every level of government to ensure that we protect our very own, our first responders, our firefighters, as they protect us. We need to make sure that we fulfill that obligation. We need to make sure that we fulfill that responsibility. If you're going to be putting yourselves in harm's way, which you do every single day, and that can be a minute from now, you can get a call. We as the County of Riverside need to value you and say that we're here with you. And we're partners. So with that, we all win, folks. CAL FIRE, County of Riverside, our community, our firefighters, the surrounding area. So let's continue to win. Let's bring more resources. Let's make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Perez, and we, from the fire team, really appreciate all the support you and your team has always given us. And our thoughts and prayers are with Pat and her family, because we know Pat has been very instrumental to our contact back to you. And I apologize for all of the phone calls that I know she's had to take from Chief Fish. But we know that those conversations and those relationships have really made this a better place, and thank you and your team. I would like to invite everybody up front onto the apron again, and we will begin the ribbon cutting ceremonies.
So everybody all at once. We're gonna have you guys hold the scissors. Come on, Supervisor. There we go. You're gonna cut. You and Supervisor can cut there. Kind of like your yard work you were doing. Yeah.
I got the bottom.
Are we actually gonna cut this?
Yeah, you are, but not yet because it will cut quick. Let's get someone in here, but I need someone to hold this so it doesn't.
Got it. Be careful there, buddy.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, why don't I do this? Like that? Good idea, especially my hand.
We want to see the apparatus.
Wait a minute, time out. There you go.
You hold that, Dorney. Come in right here next to me. Come in right next to me.